Welcome everybody to Talking with 3D Live. I'm your host, Derrick Dixon, and this is where we always sip the coffee and spill the tea. And I am so excited. I got my man here, Romel Xavier Moralez is in the house with me to chop it up. How you doing, sir?
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
I've been hearing so much about you, and I'm just really grateful and just really excited to meet you and just get to talk to you a little bit more and everything.
Likewise.
So before we get started, hey everybody, do me a big favor. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, click it, love it, share it, do all those things. Make sure that everybody is listening and watching Talking with 3D Live. This is an IRoseFilms production. So listen, Romel.
Okay.
Took the day off and everything to come see me and everything.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I want to tell everybody just a little bit about you.
Okay.
And then we're just going to get into it.
Let's get into it.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we sure can.
So he is, Romel is a hip hop artist and an independent filmmaker hailing from Washington, D.C. with a rich and extensive background in the recording industry.
Yes.
And I love those words, rich and extensive.
Yeah.
That makes it like you doing something. I love that. And he also is the CEO of the independent film studio Moralez Motion Pictures, producing short films such as Pray for My Awesome, and Sacrifice vs. Reward.
Yes.
A local household name known for his vibrant music and memorable performances. Ladies and gentlemen, Romel Xavier Moralez.
Hey, everybody.
Is here. Yes. So tell me just a little bit more about Romel. What makes Romel a household name?
Well, maybe my bio embellished a little bit. I don't know if I'm a household name. I'm very favored locally. I will say that.
Born and raised in D.C.?
Born and raised.
Okay.
And then I relocated to Philly for a few years, and then Baltimore. I've been in Baltimore for the last 20-something years. Yeah. But I'm from D.C. I was part of the independent music circuit back home.
Okay.
And I made a lot of bad decisions, right? Some of which led me to Baltimore.
Okay.
Made further bad decisions and just vanished off the face of the media world.
And was that by choice or you felt like you needed to
design?
Self-destructive design.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I started, as most rappers, I started out in the street. And whatever I was doing in the street was helping whatever I was doing musically. And then if you win this game, if you win that game long enough, I gotta say that game because that's a previous life. If you're in that game long enough, it's only a matter of time before you start tasting the candy, right?
Right.
And there was more going to me instead of in the bags.
Okay.
Yep. And it created a big personal problem. Yeah, so survived that.
When did you realize that for yourself, that this is a problem?
I'm a selfish mofo, right? It wasn't until my current wife told me she was pregnant.
Okay.
And it came down to the decision of, I never wanted to be a parent that had to decide, am I going to get high or am I going to take care of the baby?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I knew one of them had to go, right? Asked her, hey, what are we doing? What do you want to do? She said, well, I want to move forward with this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to need a little time.
Okay.
And I made what I thought was the right decision, what I still think was the right decision. Went and got myself together. Did 2 tours in rehab.
Okay.
I went in, was done, and went to him and said, hey, in all honesty, I'm not ready yet. If I go home right now and I'm calling my guy and I'm getting plugged back in.
Yeah.
So they honored it and let me stay a moment longer. After this cycle, I knew I was ready. And I came home And my whole plan once I was in rehab was, okay, you know what? I had a shot. I really blew it. And I can't get the time back, but I can shift moving forward and make every day after that count.
Make it count, right?
Right? So I was determined to get back into the media world, right? I worked doing construction for a while. Then my old lady went into school. Then she got out of school, went to the medical field. And I was like, now's the time. The kid's old enough, he in school now, and I need to get back to what I said I was going to do. Yeah. I've already put all the little pieces in place, and now's the time.
Yeah. Today's episode of Talking with 3D Live is brought to you by IRoseFilms. IRoseFilms photo booth will capture every special event, from birthday parties, weddings, baby showers. They also specialize in 360 booths, also videography. So please make sure that anytime that you have a special event, contact IRoseFilms, IRoseFilms.com.
If you think it's time, you better do something about it then.
Do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she was very encouraging, and I got myself back on the good foot, so to speak. I normally use a lot of profanity. Yeah, so if it seems like, wow.
You say if something slips out, you say, we okay.
Right, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So got back on the good foot, and man, just went at it. Every day had to be moving one step closer toward the goal.
Yeah.
I got out of rehab, and my brother, man, I love my brother. He never let the old stuff that I did before I got all messed up die.
Okay.
So
he held on to all your luggage.
Everything.
Every bit of it.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And man, that's all he was doing when I got out of rehab. So what we doing, man? We getting back to it, man. They miss you out here. And
yeah.
We going in another direction, but we still going there.
Still going there.
Yep. So, I've been recording less and filmmaking more.
Okay.
A lot more.
Okay.
But
let me ask you this. As
absolutely.
A hip hop artist,
yes.
Do you have a certain style, a certain brand that people that you may have, picked up from
along the way?
Right.
I was very heavily influenced by jazz, gospel, and the old schoolers. And when I say the old schoolers, I'm talking Melly Mel and Curtis Blow and Run DMC. Like, I came into hip hop. I learned about hip hop at its infancy.
See, that's my era. So, I know all them names.
Yeah, you know what I mean? KRS-One and
like
Boogie Down Production.
Hip hop, hip hop. I know all that. Nowadays,
I don't know what's going on.
Not a clue.
I don't. So
I was just my youngest son. We were some song that's out now, and he was like, "Dad, you just doing a bunch of mumbo jumbo." I said, well, "That's what it sounds like."
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on now, who's hot, what the current trend is. So what I do is when I do record, I allow my old influences to motivate me, to guide me. And I do a lot of what I do is based on what I'm feeling or what I have felt before. Every rapper's gonna tell you, "Oh, I speak from experience" and all this other foolishness, right? And for the most part, they do. It's not necessarily their feelings,
right?
But for the most part, it's true. They speak from someone's feelings, right? Some experiences.
I was going to ask you that because we hear gospel music, we hear R&B music, pop music that could, take you out of a situation, heal you from situations, make you feel better from situations. How does hip hop do that? Or did it do it for you where you were like, you know what?
Absolutely.
How did it do it? Because we don't think of hip hop like that.
Okay, so I would say that it's based on your experiences, right? Where most of hip hop, even today, is a very small group of experiences, right? Most of them say that they're all from the block. They all had it hard.
Yeah.
But every now and then, you cross a gem in an artist, right? That speaks to you.
Yeah.
He mirrors your experiences.
Yeah.
You can hear the pain or the joy in his voice,
Right.
His delivery, his cadence, right? He was feeling this song. He's hugging every curve on this song when he spit a word, man. I know he was in the studio feeling it. You're in the booth with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's speaking your truths. Not to the letter, but close enough in the book. At least in the right chapter.
Okay.
Right? And that's what you're drawn to. That's where the positive comes from. Because what it does is it gives you the confidence, right, that some of us need, that I needed at the time.
Yeah.
In knowing my problems are not unique. There are
The only person with
yes,
this issue.
there are other people that have had this problem.
Yeah.
And survived and and flourished. Right? So it's a sense of hope that you find in the performer. Not necessarily in what he's saying, right? But in the performer. You see promise in him and or what he's saying or how he's saying it.
Yeah.
Right? And this is where I was inspired by some hip hop stuff. Jay-Z, definitely Tupac, and come on, man, when you heard these are the breaks, you felt that. Okay, they was having a good time when you felt that. Right? And most of the stuff that I hear now, I'm not gonna say it's not good. It doesn't move me.
It doesn't move you.
Yes.
We hear the beat, but we don't hear the words.
No. I don't feel the words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And I'm so glad you broke down hip hop like that in your perspective, in your mind, because personally, me, I never heard hip hop like that because my mind wasn't trained to hear hip hop like that. So I think it's me hearing this now, I can hear hip hop in a different way.
Yes.
But like you say, today, and we're not saying hip hop today is not.
No, I'm not saying it's garbage.
We're not saying that, but it's the meaning has changed.
Yes, and then I'm in my 50s. So what they talking about now? It's not in my world anymore. It's a foreign ideal to me. Right. And I'm not saying this because my wife is in the other room. I'm old and I'm tired. Right. So I don't have any interest in chasing a whole bunch of chicks. Right. I can't afford to hang out all night and blow a whole bunch of money getting wasted at the club. Right. I'm not dumb enough to stand on the street corner and risk my freedom now for a couple of $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not saying that it's no longer relevant. It's just no longer relevant to me.
To you. Yeah. Listen, let's move into let's move into the film.
Yes.
Because you are a major product in the film industry right now.
Yes.
So, first feature film, Miscalculated.
My baby.
Miscalculated. Tell me about that. Your first feature film.
What do you want to know about it?
What was the process? Miscalculated. Where did Miscalculated come from? Where did you birth that from?
Okay, great story. All right, so a good while back, at my infancy, getting back into the film game, I had worked with MMA star Dameron Kirby on another movie I had, a short film called She Told Me.
Okay.
Right. It was on YouTube for a while. It got taken off because some of my music selections. Right. And after that movie, he went on to become this big MMA star. Like he literally was going around the world kicking people's ass behinds. You know what I mean? And I lost touch with him. And where I was at, just coming out of rehab, wasn't. I didn't have reached that far.
Okay.
Because he was off really doing big things.
Right.
Right. And I always said, man, if I ever got the chance to work with him again, I would. So I wrote this short film. It was probably about 24 pages long, and it was called Miscalculated. And it was a buddy cop piece, right?
Okay.
And my main focus was to use it to break into action movies. So I had lost contact with Dameron for about 6 years. And I saw some stuff online, but didn't really need it at the time, so it didn't quite register. He had got out of MMA professional and started sponsoring fights and classes and a whole bunch of other stuff, fitness stuff, and forget about it, right? So my kid starts to get bullied at school, and I volunteered in the public school system so that I could be there every day.
Right.
But then that wasn't enough, right? So I reached out. I found Dameron. I reached out to him. Hey, man, I have 2 things I need to talk to you about. Good to talk to you. I ain't seen you in forever. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, come on out. Go out there. Look, first order of business, my son getting bullied. I need some help with that. No problem. Enroll him in the class. I got him. Good. Secondly, man, you know what, last time we worked together, man, I wrote a short script, man, and then you went on and became this big guy, man. And now that I'm here, I didn't want to waste this opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could have been like, all right, well, I can't help your kid. And then it was, that would have been the last time I saw him.
Right.
Right? So I pulled it out of my back pocket. Bow! Why don't you read that when you get a minute? So he read it, loved it. I was working on another film, a short film, superhero short film.
Okay.
And he was on the set, and he was business partners with this other guy named Sean, right? So he asked, hey, man, I'm going to come out to the set and help you out. Is it okay if I bring my guy with you? I said, sure. So what I didn't know was Sean had read this short script.
Okay.
And was like, man, this is amazing. Who wrote this?
Yeah.
And what is it going to take to get it done? So he came out the set. When shooting was done, he asked me, hey, can I talk to you a minute outside when you're all done? I'm sure. Go outside, meet with him. He was like, I'd like to meet with you Wednesday. This was Sunday. I'd like to meet with you Wednesday to talk about Miscalculated and what it would take to get it up and running.
Wow.
I met with them Wednesday. They only had one problem. It's too short. Write it up how you would like to see it.
Okay.
And we'll worry about all the rest of it afterwards.
Yeah.
When can we get it done? I was like, I can start on the Friday.
Yeah.
That Friday, I was extending the script with this writer, talented man, Alexandria Prince.
Okay.
Because I knew how to write, but I didn't know how to structure.
Right. Okay.
Right? Man, so I went to her. She came on board and she helped me write it and also taught me structure at the same time. Oh, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And that was it. When the script was done in about a month, being extended, we started casting, and man, we got right to work. We was probably, from that Wednesday when we talked about it, we was probably in production 2 months later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
You worked with Cherie? Cherie.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Cherie, because you know I know you. So Cherie McCain, Dark 048.
Yes.
Then you also have other projects that you have that you are working on.
Yes.
How does someone get in contact with you, or how do we know when you're having auditions? Because see, I now I got to follow so I can come audition myself.
Normally, I'm old, like I said, so I'm a big Facebook guy.
Okay.
Right. I do a lot of casting through Facebook.
Okay.
But because of my time in the game, I know a lot of actors personally.
Gotcha.
Right. I've worked on them on a set, on my set, or on another set.
Gotcha.
Right. And I pretty much know what their capabilities are,
Right.
and I can kind of pick them right out. Right. There are occasions when I'm a little stuck on some characters, and I hold auditions. But those are the 2 methods by which I do it. And I always give everybody a chance to make submissions.
Okay.
Right? Even if I don't hold auditions, I always give everybody a chance to make submissions, even if I have an eye
Right.
on somebody. Because in all cases, everything is voted on with my business partners.
Okay.
Right, and it's
You never
four of
know
us.
who, you know, there's always a diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
So we never
Yeah.
know who's
So
out there.
it's
Yeah.
4 of us, and we all got to vote on it
Yeah.
on each like leading cast member.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I love your quote that you say. You say, you don't get what you want. You get what you work for.
absolutely, I wholeheartedly believe that. Yep. When I told everybody, when I got out of rehab, I was like, hey man, I want to get back in the game and this and that and that and this. Wasn't nobody hearing that foolishness.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that they didn't want to help or they were unable to help. I hadn't warranted their help.
Okay.
So I'm not bitter about it.
You had to
Right? I had to
build that back.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Dude,
it's okay.
Right,
Starting
absolutely. Last
Because
time I
was
saw
gonna
you.
say, because what you said is the little business hits different when built from scratch.
Yes.
So you had to start from scratch.
Oh, absolutely. And when I say scratch, I mean scratch. I literally started with $100 camera that my cousin bought me as a joke
Yeah.
when I got out of rehab.
Wow.
I was like, hey man, I need a camera to get back in the game. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. Took me to Walmart and got me a video camera for $99.
Where it started.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the first thing I did was started, I found some rappers,
Yeah.
younger dudes that had just getting in the game, and convinced them to let me do their music videos. And that was how I rebuilt my name.
Wow.
Yep.
So I know we're going to be running out of time, but I've really enjoyed sitting down with this conversation. One thing that I really enjoy is because, I just had King Arthur from the Harlem Wizards on here, and we were talking about how we as Black men
Yes.
are able to sit down, discuss, and be open about flaws, about our life challenges,
Absolutely.
because there's someone out there that is listening saying, wow, if he's been through, and we don't have to tell it all and you don't have to tell it all. But the thing is that they can see
Yes.
the product and say, if Romel can do it, I can do it.
And that's all I want.
And it's so important.
Even if they view it in a negative light.
Right.
Like, oh man, if his,
Yeah.
foolish behind can do it.
Yeah.
No, I can do it. Please
Yeah.
have
do
that
it.
attitude.
Do it.
Yes, you can do it.
Yeah.
I want anybody. That's the least I could ask. Is that someone takes that from meeting me or seeing me or whatever, or hearing my story, right? Like, wow, I would have never imagined.
When are you doing your life story?
I think I'm gonna leave it to my kid,
Okay.
my youngest son Romel.
Okay.
I think when I pass, I think I'm gonna leave it to him.
Okay.
Um,
Who would play you?
I think Lakeith Stanford.
Oh, okay.
In my middle years, like from 25 to 35 to 40 maybe. I can't think of this kid's name, man, but he was Shaolin Fantastic in the Nas bit on
Yeah.
The Get Down,
Yeah.
right? But that kid there playing the younger me,
Yeah. Okay.
right? And I don't know, man. It's some talented brothers, man. Playing like in my age group.
Right.
That's out there doing their thing now, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know who would play this me.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would take an actor with a great deal of range. Because from 40 to now, man, I've been through a lot of different levels of me.
Yeah.
So it would take a very talented and actor with a lot of range to encompass all those character changes in one character,
Yeah.
right? Because it's, how do I play the same character 5 different ways?
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it. Well, Romel, again, I've learned so much this conversation that we've had today, and I hope that we're able to meet again.
Absolutely.
And have more of this, because I think it's just so important.
I do.
I think it's so important.
I do as well.
And the fact that we are in the same type of entertainment,
Yes.
being an actor myself, and that was a shameless plug, so therefore you could start watching me.
Hey, one of the best on stage. Hey, great.
And we know each other. We didn't really meet, but we know each other
Yes.
from DC Black Broadway.
Yes.
So shout out to Dr. Lavelle.
Yes, amazing work you're doing, bro.
Yes. So, you know, connections.
Yes.
You know, making connections and don't even realize that we're making connections.
Yes.
We're not, you know, so very important. I really, truly appreciate you.
And I appreciate you having me. I really do.
I want to wish you all the best. And I'm going to be watching for, you know, the next products and, you know, productions and everything that you are doing, because again, it's supporting each other is so important.
Very important. And thank you again for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, once again, you have just watched Talking with 3D Live. I'm your host, Derrick Dixon. Do me a favor, go out, love somebody intentionally. Do not give up. Don't give up on what you believe in. It's never too late. You can start from scratch. Build yourself from there. Go out, have a good one. Love you. Peace.